Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Christina McNeil, and this is NB12 for Wednesday, July 4th, 2012, broadcasting from the Cable 12 studios on Robinson Road. In news tonight, more road closures this summer on New Providence. The Prime Minister addresses his critics, how managers at the Bahamas Electricity Corporation really feel about comments made by BEC Chairman Leslie Miller, Prison Superintendent Elliston Ramming in the Supreme Court after a court order was not followed, the scope of Parkinson's disease in the Bahamas, and the United States celebrates its 236th year of independence. We have those stories and much more coming up tonight. Your NB12 starts right now. For joining us. Brace yourself for additional road closures and diversions this summer. Officials from the Ministry of Work say there will be new closures in 3 areas over the next 2 months as work in the New Providence Road Improvement Project winds down. Despite this added inconvenience, Works officials say only 15% of the project remains incomplete and most of the major work should be done by year's end. Vonique Toot reports.
Motorists have endured many road diversions and closures since the start of the New Providence Road Improvement Project. Though this project is about 85% complete, there are additional closures on the horizon. Project spokesperson Shanique Aubrey says there will be 3 new road closures between July and August.
We do have some road closures still to come on the Village Road, Wolf Road area. Currently we have Wolf Road closed between Camp Road and the Village Road roundabout. There's also a small closure on Soldier Road between the roundabout as far as where Batalco is on Soldier Road. We anticipate once Soldier Road is opened, which should be by the end of the month, the end of July, there will be a closure on Burnett Road. Okay? We're working in phases on that junction. Once we're finished with Burnett Road, there is going to be some partial closures on the Village Road side of the roundabout.
Motorists can also expect a road closure on the Marathon Road, Wolf Road roundabout near Scotiabank on Jerome Avenue. However, Aubrey says that won't happen until mid-July or early August. Then later this summer, she says, there will be road closures on 2 significant junctions.
We haven't worked on Soldier Road South as yet. We had Soldier Road North closed earlier this year for some time. We've worked on both sides of the junction on Prince Charles Drive, but the Soldier Road South side of the junction where Rescue Funeral Home is, we've not had an opportunity to work there yet. So at some point in the future, there will be some closures there. In addition to that, we are actually working now on Robinson Road near to the Grace Avenue Junction. That's closed. But the opposite side of the junction is open, and in the future that will have to be closed as well, which is Old Trail.
The project spokesperson says their aim is to work in phases to avoid closing an entire junction at one time. This, she says, reduces the inconvenience caused to the public. This project does seem never-ending at times, but Aubrey says they are making progress. Think of it this way. The contractor started off working on 15 corridors, but is now down to 6, and only one of those areas still requires major work.
Prince Charles Drive, which was the longest corridor on our project. We are at the last section of Prince Charles Drive, which is between Burger King heading up to the Old Trail intersection. That more or less is the last significant section of Prince Charles Drive. Blue Hill Road South, which is another area where we're doing major works. This section on Blue Hill Road now that's closed between Malcolm Road and Lobster Avenue, that's the last major section on that corridor. The only corridor that still has some significant work that's outstanding in terms of underground infrastructure as well as getting to the first layer of pavement is the Wolf Road and Village Road area. Everything else is behind us.
Aubrey is appealing to Bahamians to look beyond the dug-up roads and see the long-term benefits.
We're hoping people are going to be able to see the gains that we are having in terms of the reduction in traffic congestion, improved travel times, as well as safety on our streets.
Back in 2008, the former government signed a $119.9 million contract with Jose Cardellone Construction for the road improvement project. Since then, it has experienced delays and $93 million in estimated cost overruns. Most of the major work on the project is expected to be complete at the end of this year. Reporting for NB12, I'm Vonique Toot.
Well, the Free National Movement has been highly critical of the Progressive Liberal Party since the May 7th general election, which is natural given that it is the official opposition. However, Prime Minister Perry Christie today telling reporters outside Cabinet that the FNM's criticism of his government has been unfair.
I think they have come out of the blocks smoking. I mean, they want to be able to score points. They have a by-election coming up. I don't know, but the former Prime Minister has indicated he was going to resign, so the leader of the opposition has an incredible obligation to be able to do things more quickly than ordinary, so that his party must see him as a leader in Abaco. He must be able to go to Abaco to win a by-election, and I think therefore he has to be strong and that's his job. You know, his job has to be strong. And then when he has the opportunity to confront me as his counterpart in the House of Assembly, he has to be able to look me in the eye, stand up, and make the same points. At least I will have the opportunity to say to him, no, it doesn't go that way.
Seeking to change the BTC deal with cable and wireless, not renewing those urban renewal workers' contracts, and most recently delays in statutory board appointments have been just a few of the issues the Christie administration has been under fire for. Here's the Prime Minister's take.
Whatever the position is, we want to do things correctly. We want to do things right. And it's easy to say, Ingram came with his boards on July 8th. And it's not July 8th yet, but I'm not doing that. What I'm coming with is saying we are going to have effective and efficient governance in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We're going to be open to criticism, and we are going to be quick to respond. That's what it is, our democracy. We're going to make it work.
Prime Minister Christie says he wants people to know that good things are happening in this country, and he says that will soon be apparent, even to his detractors.
The country, I think, has benefited from change. It is a wonderful thing to have a new government come in with a fresh perspective and questioning what the other side did. And so that's what the country voted for, and the country voted to bring us in. They voted for a new crime strategy, a new economic strategy, and a major effort on reducing the cost of electricity. These are issues that the country is concerned about.
Executives of the Bahamas Electricity Utility Managerial Union remain hopeful after Bahamas Electricity Corporation Chairman Leslie Miller recently said there cannot be any increase in salaries over the next 5 years. Speaking with MB12 today, BEU-MU President Irvin Dean said they did not take the chairman's comments as fact, just his opinion. Dean added that his union signed a 3-year agreement with no salary increases last year, followed by another 3-year agreement approving a 7% increase in salaries. Moving forward, Dean says the corporation needs to look for innovative ways to compensate workers if BEC does not improve its financial situation.
Effectively, we signed 2 contracts getting 7% increase over 6 years. And now it's unfortunate that the corporation in those 6 years has not made any progress with getting back on its a stronger financial position. But that simply is because we think the corporation continues to do the same thing repeatedly, and you get the same result. I think we need to be creative and innovative and come up with some idea how we would be compensated once we achieve the objective of turning the corporation around.
Dean told our news team that he hopes to work something out at the negotiation table, but the union isn't thinking about industrial action right now. As for the new leadership at the helm of BEC, Dean says that's exactly what the corporation needs to get it out of a rut.
We want to foster better or stronger or even at this point reasonable industrial relations. The past 5 years has been a disaster when it comes to relationships between the union and the corporation or the leadership of the corporation. That has to be fixed. When the union is riled up and has to resort to industrial action, then it only hurts the organization. The first thing we need to do is turn BEC around. We need to return to our past position of prominence. At one point we were known as the best corporation in the country.
Dean says he hopes new leadership can bring all workers and managers together to work as one team.